Hello, RPG fans. Welcome to the realm of unlimited imagination. If you're like me, you love to think about what kind of character you'd play next in your favorite role-playing game. So today, we're going to talk through a character that can get every single skill in the game by level 5. This is not a gimmick or clickbait. I'm not building a trick character here doing a whole bunch of dumb things to make the character work. In the D&D 2024 edition rules, it's actually not that hard to get every skill in the game at an early level. I'm building a team that's meant to work in the darkness spell. And while I was doing that, I kind of stumbled across this idea. And the more I looked at it, the more I thought, man, it's really a legitimate character. We could build it. It would have good damage. It would have good features and every skill in the game. So I present to you all of the skills. Got to have a meme name for a character like this. Every skill by level 5 in the D&D 2024 rules. Please remember, as we get started, hit that like button. It does help me. It helps the channel. If you subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future and leave me comments, it helps more people see these videos. So I'd appreciate if you could do that for me. With that, let's take a look at a little video that I put together, a little montage of how we would build this character in the D&D Beyond character builder. Show you that this is all legitimate and can be done all within the rule sets. Okay, here we go. All of the skills, and we'll put that as a public character for Loquitur RPG. Let's do that. Make it public in case anybody wants to look at it. We'll select Rogue as the class, of course, for our starting level. We'll take typical Rogue skills here: Stealth, Persuasion, Perception, Investigation. We get a language here. You can take whatever you want. For weapon skills, weapon masteries, I'm going to advise short bow and short sword. They both have the Vex feature. That's going to chain advantage, and that's going to help us get sneak attack off on this character more often. Whether we're hidden or doing some kind of special thing, the Vex feature will just allow us to trigger sneak very reliably. I recommend those two. We're going to take the Charlatan background. That's going to get us a couple more skills in Deception and Sleight of Hand. We're going to take the skilled feat here as part of that background. It's going to give us Arcana, History, and Insight. For ability scores, we're going to get a +1 to our Dexterity and a +2 to Charisma. For our race, we're going to be human. Humans get an extra skill. We're going to pick Acrobatics here. And then for Versatile, we get an extra Origin feat. Of course, we're going to pick Skilled here again. Skilled is a repeatable feat, so you can take it as many times as you want. It's not against the rules to take it again here because we already had it once. Here we'll take Athletics, Performance, and Intimidation. And we get a couple more languages here. For the ability scores, I like nice round ability scores for this character because we're going to want to do a lot of things and we're going to want to be good at a lot of skills. So I'm going to spread these points out. We're going to take a 15 in Charisma, taking that up to a total of 17, of course, because our class is going to be based on Charisma. We want to max that out. 12 in Wisdom. We're going to dump Intelligence. We'll fix that later. Constitution, I'm taking a 12, Dexterity a 13 to make that a 14, and Strength, I end up making that a 13. That gives us some multi-class options. It gives us the option to use heavy weapons if we want. If you just wanted more Constitution, you could dump that down to a Strength of 10 and take your Constitution up to a 14. That would also be a very good way to play this character, but the ability scores are a bit negotiable. Here you can see as a level 1 character, if we just take the starting gear that's offered to us for our class and background, and we have all the skills except 5. So 13 out of 18 skills are achieved already here at level 1. Pretty fantastic. Doesn't leave us with much to cover to get this done. It also means that we have choices for our expertise of almost any skill that we want in the game. I'm going to take typical rogue stuff here at level 1. We'll take Perception and Stealth so that we can sneak around and see things well. Sounds good. At level 2, here's where we're going to take our first Warlock level. Pact of the Blade. That's going to allow us to use Charisma for our attack and damage bonus with a melee weapon. Also, we get the True Strike cantrip, and this is going to allow us to use our Charisma as the attack and damage bonus with a ranged weapon. It doesn't say it has to be a melee weapon. A weapon with which you have proficiency that's worth at least 1 copper piece. So a short bow is definitely worth something. We're proficient in it. So guided by a flash of magical insight, we make an attack with the weapon, use the spell's casting modifier. And it can be radiant damage. And at low levels, this doesn't add any damage, but you can see in the spell description that at level 5 it'll start adding an extra 1d6, at 11 2d6, and at 17 3d6. So we can even get more damage out of this cantrip as we go along. So with one level of Warlock, we're already getting converted over with Pact of Blade and True Strike to a charisma-based character. We can also take Hex. If we don't have anything else to do with our bonus action, we can throw out a Hex and do even more damage. At level 2, it's not likely that enemies are going to last long enough to make Hex efficient, but we can have it. We'll also take Detect Magic just to help the group if that's needed. So you can see here that we can go in and make these weapons Pact weapons by clicking that feature for the weapon in DnD Beyond. Now, you can't really make a short bow into your Pact weapon, but by doing so, you'll see what it looks like for the attack bonus and the damage bonus based on charisma. So I suggest making that a Pact weapon just to make it easy for rolls. Our third level, we're going to take our second level of Warlock here. And we're going to take lessons of the first one. That is a repeatable feature. You can take this invocation more than once, but you can't take the same origin feat each time. So it's going to allow us to take the skilled origin feat again. And here we're going to take animal handling, religion, and what else do we have left? Medicine. Okay. And now we've just got 2 skills left. And when I was first messing around with this character, I thought it would be brilliant if we could take skilled again and take our last 2 skills and also a tool and then be a crafter, and it would be great. But lessons of the first one does say that you can't repeat the same feat. So we have to take a different feat here, but it won't let us take lessons of the first one again. So for now, we'll take Devil Sight as a placeholder. You're a human. Devil Sight's going to fix the problem that you don't have dark vision. Now you have Devil Sight. You can see in darkness. You can see in magical darkness too. Pretty fantastic, making it a well-rounded character. But that Devil Sight invocation is optional. We can do other things with that. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Now we're going to go up to Rogue level 3. This is going to be total character level 5, Warlock 2, Rogue 3. For a Rogue subclass, we're going to take Scout. Scout is going to give us this survivalist feature, and that's going to give us not just the nature and survival skills, but whenever we roll with those skills, it doubles our proficiency, which means we have expertise. So we're going to pick up not only the skills themselves, but we're going to pick up expertise in nature and survival. And that's it. That is 18 out of 18 skills, folks. We have every skill in the game on a legitimate character. Bonuses here are pretty good. The intelligence bonus is pretty low, but we can fix that with the headband of intellect. It's an uncommon item, 400 gold pieces, and it would increase all of these intelligence rolls by 5. We're currently at -1, and it would take it to a +4, so we would get that probably sometime pretty early in this character's career. Here I'm going to show you, if you go out to level 7 as a rogue, you get reliable talent. When you make an ability check that uses one of your skill or tool proficiencies, we're proficient in every skill. A d20 roll of 9 or lower is treated as a 10. So now the least we can roll on any skill is a 10. We're trained in everything. We also get evasion at 7th level, which is fantastic. We picked up a feat along the way. I love actor. If we're going to be doing all of this skill stuff in the game, it feels really good to be an actor. That's going to allow us to succeed even better when we're disguised. It's going to allow us to mimic sounds and voices perfectly. It just goes along with the theme of the character very well. So I like the actor feat. You can pick what you want. We do want to increase charisma, though. We want to keep our charisma going up. Last couple, let's say, expertise. Here, we can pick any expertise we want. I like deception and persuasion if we're going to be fooling people by, acting and being a charlatan. It makes a lot of sense to have expertise. Persuasion is really good in the game when you need to persuade somebody. Having expertise in that is pretty good. We're a charisma-based character, so making a couple charisma skills our next few expertise seems to make sense to me. So let's do that. And now you can see here at total character level 9, these skill rolls are looking really good. Let's activate that headband of intellect, come in here and attune it. And now you can see that our intelligence-based checks jumped up to a +8. So we're doing fantastic on all of our skills. the lowest skills that we have in the game are still a +5. We can also use a Stone of Good Luck. That gives us +1 bonus on all skill checks and saves. So yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and do that. And then ultimately, probably not at level 9, but at some level, if you wanted to get a Ioun Stone of Mastery, that's going to increase your proficiency bonus by 1. So all of these skills we're proficient in, we're going to get a +1 from the mastery. And all the things that we have expertise in, mastery or proficiency applies twice. So the Ioun Stone of Proficiency is actually going to give us a +2 in those skills. And with those 3 items, you can see we would be pretty ridiculous by that point. If we were trying to persuade somebody, we've got a 15 on our check. The minimum we can roll is a 10 for a 25. If we have guidance or bardic inspiration on top of that, we're easily rolling 26 minimum and somewhere around 32 as our average check. Pretty crazy. So let's go back to the discussion of the character here and check out the combat viability and make sure that this character could be viable in combat. We'll talk just a little bit about the options for that level 3 invocation. If nobody else in your party is being a cleric, the opportunity to grab Magic Initiate Cleric here is fantastic. You can grab Guidance as a cantrip and have that for yourself and the group. It's an extra D4 to nearly all the skill checks you're going to make. You can also grab Bless 3 people in the group. You have Warlock Pact spell slots that you could use for Bless. So Bless is a super powerful spell in the game. So if nobody else in your group has it, picking that up for free from your Warlock invocations is insanely good. If there is another character in the group that's being a cleric or has these spells, then fine. Devil Sight for me seems like the best second option. You could also take Alert, which is one of the best origin feats in the game. You could also take Crafter. If you're into crafting, you could pick up 3 crafting tools here. You could pick up Jeweler's Tools and you could make that Ioun Stone of Mastery by crafting it. And it would also give you discounts on all the materials that you buy. And all the non-magical items that you buy are 20% less. Pretty fantastic. If your game master allows you to negotiate the price of materials, you also have a 25 skill check on your persuasion. You could probably talk people down to an even lower price. Fantastic. World's best haggler. Damage at level 5. With a +1 weapon, True Strike with a short bow, you'd be looking at 4d6 plus 4 damage. D6 for the short bow, 2d6 sneak, and then 1d6 for the True Strike. 18 average damage. Not bad. Pretty high chance to hit. By level 9, it would be 66 plus 5, so 26 damage. And by level 20, if you just kept going rogue and kept using True Strike, you'd be looking at 12d6 plus 8, 50 damage on a hit with that. Pretty strong. So if you want to double your damage, you can look at the haste spell. For anybody who doesn't know this trick, I'll just kind of go through it. Let's look at haste first. It's a spell. It targets a creature. The target's speed is double, gains +2 bonus to armor class, has advantage on dex saves, and gains 1 additional action. That action can only be used to take the attack, 1 attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or utilize. When the spell ends, the target is incapacitated. So if it ends early, or when it ends, you get stunned for a round, or incapacitated for a round, which is really inconvenient. But yeah, here's hoping that doesn't happen to you during combat. So how you use this: if you get haste or drink a potion of speed, what you're going to do, you're going to use your bonus action to generate advantage. If you just want to use steady aim, for example, you can't move, but it'll give you advantage on your next attack. That'll trigger sneak. If you're using a short bow, the Vex Weapon Mastery will allow you to chain that advantage. Once you hit, you'll have advantage on your next attack. If you hit on your next attack, you'll have advantage on your next, and so on. So once you trigger advantage, you've got it until that monster is dead. With your sneak, with your hasted action, you're going to make that attack, trigger your sneak attack damage on your turn. With your regular action, you're going to ready an action to use the True Strike cantrip on an enemy as soon as any other character twitches. So immediately after your initiative ends, the next character, whether it's an ally or an enemy, they start their turn, you interrupt with your reaction. You take the True Strike cantrip action, and you'll have advantage from your Vex feature, triggering sneak attack again. Sneak attack only triggers once per turn. It triggered once on your turn. It's triggering now on a different turn. It works. It's legitimate. So with a haste potion, you can deal that damage twice. At level 9, we did 26 damage on a hit. So now you can do 52 damage instead, and you're probably doing better damage than most of the damage dealers in your party if you do that. So haste from a caster is nice. Potion of speed, they're fairly expensive in the new rules, so it's not something you're going to want to drink a potion of haste every combat. If you took the crafting feature and you're able to brew your own potions of speed, maybe you're a little more liberal with them. So yeah, 52 damage per round at level 9 when it's worth a speed potion is pretty good damage. And as a reminder, that's coming on a character that doesn't roll under 16 on any skill ever, and who averages a 28 on the skills where they have expertise. All of the skills. Also, I mean, you could take levels in War Cleric to have a bonus action attack. If you attack with your bonus action, if you can weaponize that and get your sneak damage as a bonus attack, there's a few ways to do that in the game. So if you can do that, there's no need for haste anymore. You can move up to a character. Typically, you have to be in melee to make this work. Sentinel Feat's another way to do this if you're okay with being in melee. So you attack on your turn with a bonus action and then ready in action, or you could just have the Sentinel Feat. Sentinel Feat doesn't give you charisma, so with this particular character, taking that would sort of delay you getting to maximum charisma. But it's a way that you could enable that sneak attack twice per round without having to use potions or haste or any gimmicks. You could also take, if you're really into skills, and who knows, maybe your DM keeps throwing DC 30 skill checks at you just to give you a challenge, you could also take a level of Bard and Bardic Inspiration for another 1d6 on those rolls, or have somebody else give you Bardic Inspiration. Me, I would just keep taking rogue levels. I might take that third Warlock level at some point to get a subclass feature and do some fun stuff with that as well. But basically, every 2 levels of rogue that you get is getting you another d6 of sneak damage, and all the great rogue features like evasion, more expertise. They get an extra feat at level 10. Rogue is really worth taking. They also have the ability to trade out their sneak attack damage for other effects. And because you're triggering your sneak attack damage potentially twice per round, you can trade off some of those, give enemies poison condition, all kinds of interesting things. So that's all of the skills. As we wave goodbye here, please remember to like this video on the way out if you didn't like it on the way in. Subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future. Leave any comments that you have down below if you like it, if you don't like it, if you think of ideas to make it better or things that I might have left out or forgot that could make the character even more potent. Your feedback is welcome. I'll be glad to hear from you. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next adventure.